A mother's world shatters when her son is accused of killing a young girl, so she begins her own hunt for the truth, but what she finds is far more horrifying than the crime itself. Let's begin. The film begins with a middle-aged woman quietly chopping dried herbs on a worn wooden board. Her hands move, but her eyes never leave her son, Do-jun. She watches him the way a man would guard something precious, as if danger could strike at any moment. And then, it does. A car speeds past the house, before slamming straight into Do-jun. She freezes, her mind screaming his name. But before she can even run to him, pain stings her own hand. She's cut her finger with the knife. Her worry deepens when she sees Do-jun's reaction. He rushes down the street and boards a taxi. His friend Jin-tae is already inside. The two speed off without a word. They head for the local golf club. Jin-tae has a theory. The driver who hit Do-jun was behind the wheel of a luxury black Benz. And people like that, they say, always end up at the golf club. They start scanning the parking lot. It doesn't take long. The black Benz is parked neatly by the entrance. Jin-tae walks up casually, then smashes the side window with one swift kick. Do-jun tries to copy him, but his kick fails miserably, sending him stumbling backward. They leave the lot and head to the course, lying in wait for the owner. Soon, a buggy carrying a group of laughing men rolls past, as if nothing in the world could touch them. Jin-tae snaps. He sprints toward them, yanking one man off the seat. Do-jun joins in, his own anger flaring. The brawl spills across the green until they all arrive at the police station. Inside, the officer urges everyone to settle the matter quietly, but the car owner refuses, insisting they pay for the damage to his mirror. Jin-tae doesn't hesitate. He points at Do-jun, blaming him completely. Do-jun stays silent until one of the men smirks and spits an insult at him. His jaw tightens as he fights back. His mother arrives just in time to pull him out before things get worse. At home, she cooks for him, a rich, comforting meal, her way of erasing the ugliness of the day. But while they eat, she can't stop nagging about the broken mirror. She says she's too broke to cover such costs. When Do-jun casually suggests she borrow from Jin-tae, her face hardens. She warns him coldly, "Stay away from that man. He's no good." Then softer, she slips back into her old ways. Too protective, too doting, even feeding him medicine like he's still a boy. Later that night, Do-jun slips out to meet Jin-tae at a bar, but Jin-tae never shows. That evening, his mother is treating a neighbor with acupuncture needles to help her conceive. Her hands are steady, her tone kind. But beneath it, there's purpose. She tries to borrow money, offering free treatments in exchange so that she can pay off for the damaged mirror. Do-jun spends the night slumped over a table at the bar. Morning light creeps in through the windows, and the bar owner finds him there. She tells him to go home and have his mother pay his bill. A little later, the owner's daughter, Mina, arrives. She smiles politely, making small talk with Do-jun. But her mother's eyes darken. She doesn't like it. She warns Do-jun to stay away from her daughter, and even tells him never to come back. Before leaving, Do-jun pulls out the expensive golf balls he had collected. He gives them to the owner as payment for his drinks. She looks at him in disbelief, as if insulted. Then Do-jun storms out, anger burning in his chest that everyone seems to be belittling him. On the way home, he tosses one of the golf balls at a random building. Not long after, he spots a young female student walking alone. Her name is Ah-jung. He follows her, pestering her to have a drink with him. But Ah-jung quickens her pace, ignoring him until she disappears from sight. Then, without warning, something crashes near him, a heavy stone. His body freezes for a split second before fear takes over. He runs home as fast as he can. The next morning, horror spreads through the small town. Ah-jung is found dead, her lifeless body slumped over the edge of a building, her head hanging down toward the street. The scene is grotesque, almost unreal. The police are shaken. There hasn't been a murder here in years. Their shock quickly turns into action. A patrol car roars to life, heading straight for Do-jun. They arrest him on the spot. No questions, no proper procedure. At that same moment, Do-jun's mother is at the medical shop where she works. The shop owner is nagging her, telling her to stop practicing acupuncture without a license, warning it could bring trouble, but then her eyes catch sight of her son, being shoved into a police car. She drops everything and runs after it, shouting his name. Then out of nowhere, a van crashes into the police car. His mother's heart stops. She's terrified her son might be badly hurt. Fortunately, they aren't. Inside the wrecked car, the police tell Do-jun why he's been taken. He's under arrest for the murder of Ah-jung. They sneer, reminding him that his mother is poor and powerless. There's nothing she can do for him. But Do-jun doesn't understand. He sits there, blank, not grasping how serious this is. At the station, they lock him in a cell. The questioning begins. Witnesses claim they saw him following Ah-jung the night before, all the way to the scene of her death. Worse, a golf ball with his name on it was found beside her body. It's enough for the police. Even without solid proof, they press him hard, speaking fast, using words he can't keep up with. They slide papers in front of him, his confession, and he signs, not realizing what it means. His intellectual disability makes him easy prey. When his mother visits, she looks into his eyes and asks quietly if he confessed because they forced him. Do-jun nods. He says he didn't kill anyone. But since he signed, the paper says he's guilty, so he is. Desperate, she goes to the lead detective pleading for his help. She tells him her son wouldn't even harm a bug, let alone kill a person. But the detective just shrugs. The case is closed. She walks away helplessly. The next day, the police take Do-jun to reenact the murder. The street is crowded with curious neighbors, whispering among themselves. His mother stands at the edge of the crowd, her face tight with determination. She and a friend hand out flyers, each one accusing the police of forcing a false confession. People glance at the papers, then turn away. No one wants to listen. Later, she goes to Ah-jung's funeral. She bows her head, saying she only wants to pay her respects. But the grieving family reacts with anger. They tell her she's not welcome here. She raises her voice, declaring that her son is innocent. The room goes cold. People stare as if she's lost her mind. They force her out. Running out of options, she invites a well-dressed lawyer, Suk-ho, to a meal. She smiles politely, hiding her desperation. She needs his help. Soon after, she visits Do-jun in prison, the lawyer at her side. She urges her son to remember every detail of that night. Then Do-jun says something new. He wasn't the one who smashed the rearview mirror. It was Jin-tae. The lawyer's smile fades. He glances at his watch and says he has urgent business at the office. His meaning is clear. He's not taking this case. It's hopeless. After he leaves, Do-jun tells his mother something else. Jin-tae never showed up that night, and he already knew about the golf balls. Maybe he's the real killer. Her pulse quickens. She hurries to Suk-ho's office, but his assistant blocks her at the door. She's turned away, so she decides to do it alone. She goes to Jin-tae's house. The place is silent. He's not home. She slips inside and searches quickly. In a cupboard, she finds it, a golf club with dark stains along the head. Her stomach twists. Then the sound of footsteps. Jin-tae is back. She hides in the wardrobe, holding her breath. Another voice joins his. Mina, the bar owner's daughter. Hours pass. When they finally fall asleep, she slips out, moving slowly. But her leg knocks over a bottle of water. It hits the floor with a dull splash. Jin-tae stirs. She bolts for the door, her heart pounding, and makes it out just in time. At the police station, she hands the golf club to the officer's desk. But Jin-tae is ready. He sends in proof that the stain isn't blood at all, but lipstick. Her shoulders sag. All her effort, all her fear for nothing. Rain pours from the black sky as Do-jun's mother walks home. In the dim light of the street, she sees an old man pushing a cart piled with bags of trash. An umbrella sticks out from the heap. She pulls it free, presses money into his hand, and walks away without another word. Moments later, a black car slows beside her. Suk-ho's assistant leans out, telling her to get in. She hesitates, but steps inside. The car takes her to a hostess club. Warm lights, skimpily dressed ladies, loud laughter. She sits stiffly at the table, hands in her lap. Suk-ho tells her, as if offering her a gift. If she admits Do-jun is guilty, he says, they can send him to a mental hospital for 4 years instead of prison for 15. A good deal, he calls it. Her voice is steady when she answers, her son is innocent. Why would she agree to call him a murderer? She leaves the club, the air outside cold against her skin. But when she reaches home, someone is waiting. Jin-tae. His eyes burn with anger. He accuses her of trying to frame him for Ah-jung's death. He wants $5,000. She opens a drawer, pulls out her last savings, and presses the money into his hands. Before leaving, he pauses at the door. He tells her she's looking in the wrong place. The killer must have had a reason, something personal. And whoever it was, they didn't hide the body. They put it on display, like a message to the whole town. If she wants the truth, she should stop trusting others and investigate for herself. His words stay in her mind. She starts asking questions. Friends whisper to her. Ah-jung's life was messy, poor, cut off from her own family. The students talk too. Ah-jung had many boyfriends and often traded company for food. Later, in the prison visiting room, she asks Do-jun if he remembers anything else from that night. But instead, he tells her something from long ago. Something dark. He says she once poured insecticide into his drink. Her face goes pale. She had been desperate back then, so desperate she thought ending both their lives was the only escape. She never imagined he would remember. Heartbroken, she tries to reach out, wanting to press acupuncture needles into his thigh to erase the memory, but the officer drags her away. Later, she visits a print shop and asks her friend to enlarge an old photo of Do-jun. The friend freezes, remembering something. A few days before her death, Ah-jung had been in this shop with a friend wanting to print photos from her phone. Do-jun's mother feels her chest tighten. If they can find that phone, maybe it will hold the truth. Do-jun's mother and her friend split up. The friend goes to speak with Ah-jung's grieving mother to get more clues. Meanwhile, Do-jun's mother walks to the school, her eyes scanning for the girl who had been in the print shop with Ah-jung. She finds her near the school gates and starts asking about Ah-jung's phone. The girl's expression changes, tight, guarded. Instead of answering, she tells Do-jun's mother to buy her sanitary pads from a nearby store. When Do-jun's mother returns, the girl is gone. She hurries down the back alley and spots her, bullied by two male students. They are demanding the phone too. Sensing trouble, Do-jun's mother drops a beer bottle to attract the attention of a store owner who chases the boys away. Her hands shaking, she calls Jin-tae. When he arrives, she hands him a bundle of cash and orders him to find out why those boys want the phone. Hours later, drunk and sloppy, the boys tell Jin-tae the truth. Ah-jung's phone is full of pictures, men she had been with. If those pictures are exposed, lives will be ruined. They believe the killer must be one of those men. That night, Do-jun's mother goes to the place Ah-jung lived. Her mother, who is suffering from dementia, finally pulls out a phone, hidden in a rice bucket. In prison, while Do-jun sits in a corner, a memory surfaces. The night he followed Ah-jung, he had seen someone, an old man lurking inside the abandoned building. When his mother visits, she scrolls through the phone's gallery, showing him faces. He points at one, an elderly man. Her stomach turns. She recognizes him. It is the same man she bought the umbrella from in the rain. The next day, she knocks on his door, smiling politely. She tells him she's a volunteer, offering free health checkups for the elderly. He lets her in. They sit, and after a long pause, he begins to speak. He tells Do-jun's mom that he saw something traumatizing recently that is keeping him up. That night, he says, he saw Do-jun follow Ah-jung. He saw her pick up a heavy stone and throw it at Do-jun, shouting that she hated men and wanted him to stop bothering her. She had been hurt too many times. Do-jun picked up the rock and threw it back. It struck her head and she collapsed. Frightened, Do-jun dragged her to the roof, leaving her body there. Do-jun's mother shakes her head, tears running down her cheeks. "No," she whispers, "that's not true." The old man says he should call the police after much hesitation. In a moment of panic, her body moves before her mind catches up. She grabs a hammer and swings and the man collapses. A moment later, she strikes a match. The flames spread quickly, devouring the walls, the ceiling, the old man's body. When it's done, she walks into the forest. Her steps are slow, her face is blank. Guilt presses against her chest, but she tells herself she had no choice. She returns to the medicinal shop, the weight of the night still heavy in her chest. The lead detective steps inside, his face unreadable, and tells her the news. They have found the real killer. Her son is innocent. The man's name is JP. Bloodstains matching Ah-jung's DNA were found on his shirt, stronger evidence than the golf ball with Do-jun's name. JP claims Ah-jung was his girlfriend, and the blood came from her frequent nosebleeds while they were kissing. The police don't believe him. When Do-jun's mother finally sees JP, she notices his vacant, childlike eyes. He, too, is intellectually disabled. He has no family, no mother to fight for him. Yet he is about to spend the rest of his life in prison for a murder he didn't commit. And when he sees her crying, he offers a small, awkward comfort. "Don't cry." Her sobs deepen. She knows the truth. Her son is the real killer. But the case is closed. JP takes the fall. Do-jun walks free. Outside, Jin-tae and Mina greet him with laughter and even a cake to celebrate his release. On the way back, they spot the burned-down building. Curious, they head to explore the ruins. He comes home smiling, feigning innocence, even asking why JP would put the girl's body on the roof. Then almost casually, he suggests it was so people would see her quickly since she was bleeding so much. The words hang in the air, sharp and cold, a quiet confession. The next morning, Do-jun's mother boards a bus tour with other parents. Before she leaves, he hands her something wrapped in cloth, her acupuncture kit. He says he found it at the junk collector's burnt house after his release, teasing her for leaving it behind. Her heart stutters. He knows. She forces a smile, but quickly turns and walks away, the guilt swelling like a shadow that won't leave her side. On the bus, surrounded by singing and celebration, she presses an acupuncture needle into her thigh. She hopes desperately that it will erase the memory of the crimes they've both committed. Moments later, she rises, joining the others in their dancing, her face lit with an empty smile. The music drowns everything out. In protecting her son, she lost herself, and the world will never know the truth.